Vanishing dividends and reshaping contracts, a decade of revelation in China's marriage and childbearing changes. In May 2026, when the first quarter data from the National Bureau of Statistics and the Ministry of Civil Affairs was presented to the public, the continuously declining curve was no longer just a statistical warning, but a watershed marking a fundamental reversal in social logic. From the peak of 10 million marriages when the universal second child policy began in 2016 to the halving of marriage registrations and newborns dropping below the 8 million mark in 2026, China is undergoing an unprecedented restructuring of its population. This is more than a change in numbers. It is a profound reshaping of intimate relationships, family responsibilities, social security, and national destiny. The transformation of marriage has shifted from a necessity to a luxury. Looking back at 2016, China was in the final glow of the era of 10 million couples, with 11.428 million marriage registrations. However, by the first quarter of 2026, national marriage registrations were only 1.697 million, with the full year total expected to hover around 6 million. This means that within a decade, the number of people entering marriage has shrunk by nearly half. If current trends continue, annual marriage registrations could drop below 3.5 million by 2036, turning marriage into a luxury consumption item requiring high material and psychological costs. Meanwhile, the implementation of the divorce cooling-off period has stabilized divorce rates, but the price of this stability is a deconstruction of young people's confidence in marriage. The logic of childbearing has also collapsed. 2016 saw a peak of 17.86 million newborns due to the second child policy, but by 2025, births fell below 8 million, a trend continuing into 2026. Over 10 years, newborns in China plummeted by 55% due to the pain of high costs and shifting generational values. In 2026, surveys show that the cost of raising a child in large cities is nearly 1 million yuan, while the youth generation has moved from the idea of carrying on the family line to focusing on personal experience. Projections suggest that by 2036, newborns may drop below the 5 million red line, leaving the total fertility rate TFR long below 1, far below the replacement level of 2.1. A massive contraction in total population is imminent. From 2026 to 2036, the first wave of China's baby boomers will reach the end of their lifespan, with annual deaths expected to rise from 11 million to 15 million. With approximately 55 million births and 140 million deaths over the next decade, China's total population could decrease by 60 to 80 million people. This is equivalent to Canada's disappearing in 10 years. By 2036, China's total population will drop toward 1.3 billion, officially yielding the title of the world's most populous nation to India. This demographic shift will collapse established social and economic norms. By 2036, a vast number of kindergartens, primary schools, and colleges will face closure as student numbers fall to one-third of their peak. Urban infrastructure designed for 1.4 billion people will see significant redundancy, and smaller cities will feel the chill of ghost town conditions. By then, people over 60 will account for nearly 35% of the population, placing the first generation of only children under severe pressure to manage aging risks through automation and personal savings as pension funds face high strain. In response, Chinese policy has shifted from management to service, including subsidies for assisted reproduction, cash grants, and national marriage registration. However, financial subsidies often feel insufficient against the pressures of education competition and workplace discrimination. The nation must now move toward a birth-friendly society that restores a sense of neighborhood, support, and future control for young people. Ultimately, as the era of the population dividend ends, China must rely on total factor productivity and high-quality human development to endure, resolving structural contradictions to become a society truly fit for comprehensive human development. Title: China's Population Crisis 2026 Data Signals a Massive Structural Shift. Description: By 2026, China's marriage and birth rates have reached a historic watershed, with newborns dropping below 8 million. This demographic shift, driven by high urban living costs and evolving social values, signals the end of the population dividend. Hashtags: #China, #demographics, #population crisis, #future trends, #economy, #sociology. #2026 data, #marriage rates, #birth rates, #global news.